Everybody, it's Nick Sorrentino Against Crony Capitalism. I am very pleased to have you here. I want to talk about paid protesters, spam, and coordinated efforts to derail Doge efforts and any other efforts at change. I want to say one thing before that, however, and I'm about to write up a piece really critical of President Trump. Well, we'll see how critical it is, but it's probably going to be pretty critical. President Trump came out against Thomas Massie, Representative Massie from Kentucky, who is, probably the best member of Congress in Congress. He has stood up for the American taxpayer unceasingly, and he stands for the right things. And he's, in my experience, honest. And I have met a number of members on Capitol Hill. I've poked around Capitol Hill now for almost a quarter of a century, which is insane. I cannot believe I could say that. But Thomas Massie is one of the very few who I felt was genuine and had their heart in the right place. There are plenty of perfectly decent politicians up on Capitol Hill, but there are very few really, really good ones. And Thomas Massie is one of those few, and maybe the best. And the president just came out and said that he was going to support a primary attack on Thomas Massie because Thomas Massie is voting against a continuing resolution that spends a ton of money. I thought we were cutting government here, Mr. President. Look, Trump is not going to get everything right, obviously, and we still hold that Trump coming in is a breath of fresh air, but he's going to make missteps, and this is a big one. And he needs to figure this out. And frankly, he should have Thomas Massie at the White House, sit down with him, and figure out how to work with Representative Massie. Because frankly, Representative Massie should be the next senator from Kentucky. All right, enough on that. Let's talk about paid protesters. All right, look, there is some, I can remember back when Trump got elected the first time, okay? And I remember that there was this confab of Soros and Clinton people and Obama people and a whole bunch of people, and they all gathered. I think it was at the Mandarin Hotel in Washington, D.C., I think. I need to go back and look at my notes, but we covered this. And basically what they did is they sat down. They were so freaked out by Trump winning. They tried to figure out a way to, create a resistance, okay? Which, they kind of did. Although I think it massively backfired on them, obviously. But when Trump got elected again, these folks had, ideas in mind also. First off, notice, they were just completely shell-shocked when Trump won the popular vote. And they basically, the Soros and the far left, which has dominated the Democratic Party for a long time, has essentially been relegated to the wilderness, and they are panicking. But what's interesting is they're trying to find traction with Musk because he's an easy target. First off, what's interesting is the way that they're attacking him as a foreigner, first off, which is pretty interesting. But also, like, he's the world's richest man. He's an oligarch. It's like, consider this. Why would he do this if he was, was he trying to get more unfathomably rich? Like, Musk's a smart guy. Even he can't contemplate how much money he has. I'd be willing to bet. Really, truly. Okay. He's obviously doing this for another reason, and it's not to consolidate his own power so that he's world president, okay? He sees a chance, at least as far as I can tell, as far as, having listened to him speak for hours, read his stuff, followed him on X, and so on, it looks like, basically he's holding up a hand and saying, no, you're not going to blow up Western civilization, and Western civilization is going to fight back. But there are a whole lot of people who basically, they want something to hate. It is like 1984. They want something to hate. So they show, Musk was a green favorite, man. I remember writing about him. We gave him, and we still will give him a hard time. We used to call him the world's most likable big-time crony capitalist. But Yeah, I mean, the guy, like, if it wasn't for the California subsidies and other government subsidies, I mean, Tesla would never have taken off. All right. And that is straight up crony capitalism. Okay. Flat out. All right. There is no doubt about that. However, you can't, like, him taking over X and now the Doge effort, man, that's a pretty big effort to redeem himself. And so we'll give him credit where credit is due. Anyway, the point is, uh, what Lenin referred to as useful idiots. Okay, now let's talk about this term useful idiots. And I don't mean this to be insulting, okay? But useful idiots is a term used for leftists specifically. Okay, it doesn't apply to people who are generally what most people would call right of center. It specifically applies to the left. And useful idiots are what Lenin uh, deemed, essentially the sycophant, the people who just spout the talking points and do as they're told. They are expendable, and they are easily manipulated. And really, when the revolution comes, those people are, the third against the wall. Okay, they're dismissed. But anyway, those people, there are a lot of people for whom, progressivism, which is cultural Marxism, is essentially a religion. And it's very hard to break from that. You ever talk to somebody who is a born again Christian or something, or not to dismiss that, I'm a Christian, but or somebody who is like really, really deep into a religion, um, they are convinced that this is the truth, and Marxism is a religion. It has its own holidays. It has its own saints. There's Saint Keynes, Saint Soros, Saint FDR, Saint Lenin, Saint Stalin, who a lot of people won't admit to the fact that Stalin is a saint of the left, but talk in private circles about what some of these folks think of Stalin. Okay, it's messed up. All right, Stalin killed more people than Hitler by quite a lot, and Hitler killed a hell of a lot of people. Anyway, um, this religion, it's not like they're going to give up. They have to live this religion. If they were to confront the reality of their religion, that basically Marxism is, nonsense, that the dream of heaven on earth is baloney, that the idea that they are the good guys is ludicrous. That these people do not understand that they are the totalitarians. That they are much more like the fascists than anybody who's for small government. Small government conservatives or libertarians. I mean, look, the pro-government, big government, anti-Doge leftists are way closer to the fascists than the small government conservatives. That's for damn sure. Anyway, to that end, the big money in the progressive left, Soros, probably Steyer, probably other people, Eric Schmidt, maybe, who knows? Bill Gates is probably in there too. Who knows? Anyway, it appears that there is money flowing through things like Act Blue. By the way, look up smurfing. Basically, Act Blue found people who gave small amounts to the Democratic Party and then pushed money from God knows where through those people. So basically, grandma out in the middle of nowhere gave $15 to Bernie Sanders 10 years ago. Well, surprise, surprise, there were a whole bunch of these people that ended up giving $20,000. They didn't even know that they gave this $20,000. They don't have $20,000 to give. Where did it come from? We wonder. Maybe the cronies. That's possible. Okay. Anyway, it definitely appears that there is a ramp up, and this is to be expected in paid protests, in placed people in media, and so on. I mean, look, if you were attached to the Marxist religion, Okay, if you truly believed that progressivism was the way forward, that it actually represented progress, like you were convinced of this, okay, and that you truly believed that Doge blowing up going in and trying to blow up your dream, you had to fight against that. Of course, if you're a bazillionaire, you're gonna pour this money into the system to try to fight it. That's what's going on. And I have to say, one of the reasons why this post is what inspired this post is because we have seen an increase on our page. By the way, we're knocking on 10 million unique views for the month across our social media this month. Thank you so much. It is awesome. We totally love it. What a great way to make a living, by the way. We love talking with you, but we like talking to real people. And the thing is, there are straight up, like, there are definitely bots coming in to like our Facebook page and so on. Like, they're, with a little effort, they're fairly easy to identify. But they're just like the people at, the NPCs, forgive me for using that term, but it's so true, at college campuses who, like somebody will come in and try to talk about something and they'll just sit there and yell and scream until no one can get a word in edgewise. And, the libertarian or the conservative or whoever is actually talking about real sensible things on campus is chased out and can't say anything. Well, there is an effort to do that online in lots of places. Okay. Now, thankfully, online it's a little easier to control the bots, but it's pretty sophisticated, and we'd be willing to bet. And now, this is just our general feeling that probably millions of dollars are going into this. Now, it does appear that now this is something that's been around for a while. And again, like Soros was tied with this, and it's not just Soros. I don't mean it like a lot of people on the Marxist left like to demonize like Musk, like he's some kind of devil or something. Okay, now Soros, he ain't a good guy. He's a bad guy, but he's not the only one. All right, but let's just say that those folks are pouring money into. We'd be willing to bet it appears to be paid protesters. Now think about this. Why wouldn't you do this? You have a bunch of unemployed people who are convinced that Marxism is the way forward, and they do need to, pay their Netflix bill. So why not pay them $40 an hour, which apparently is happening. $40 an hour. Like, shoot, I don't know. Like, I should talk to some of our readers and viewers and listeners. $40 an hour. I think there's an ad up in Washington. It might be on Craigslist or whatever. Like, hey, go check it out. I mean, go do whatever. It's $40 an hour. I mean, wait till the weather's good. Like, wait till protest season. I mean, that's what they always do in France. They wait till May when the weather's really nice, so you can sit out and get a suntan while you're protesting. So wait till the weather is good, then sign up, and then take the money. Do whatever. I mean, I'd suggest hang out on the lawn, play frisbee, but whatever. In Washington, apparently, is where at least some of these protests are going. But it looks like they're paid folks, probably in New York. I don't know if they have to pay them in San Francisco, but it's happening, and we need to be aware of that. Okay, the people on the Marxist left, the progressive left, are scared. They think that their religion is in peril. And by virtue of that they somehow are in peril. And truly, I mean, their philosophy in a lot of ways is in peril. The times have changed. Their bullying for many, many years is now not working. And they are upset. But they have money. So they're going to spend it and be aware of that. We certainly are, and we're watching our social media closely. Hey, keep an eye out. Keep focus. Check out X every once in a while. Just type in paid protesters. Periodically. My bet is that this is going to be a story that becomes a bigger story over time. Anyway, Until next time, and I'm about to write up that piece on Massey and Trump. Man, Trump, what are you doing? Don't do that. Massey is one of the good ones. Like, align yourself with Massey. Don't fight him. That's just stupid. Anyway, enough of that. Until next time, Nick Sorrentino.